welcome to your reading for October the 30th through November the 5th. And what a reading. Okay, so this is a general reading, Capricorn, and if you would like a personalized, more focused reading, you will find that information in the description box below. And I highly recommend personal reading. So listen, take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. This is also for your sun, moon, and rising, and I will have other links. I'll have the links to the other videos below in the description box. I'm sorry, my mind is 10 steps ahead and my voice is coming out 10 steps behind. So sorry for all the ums. Anyway, there we go. Thank you so much for all the love last week on Facebook. I really, really appreciate it. Now, please, I'm reminding you to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you feel inspired, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and also comment and feedback. I really appreciate that, and I always answer all the comments and feedback. So without further ado, let's go to your cards for the next week. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Those links are below too. So I'm looking at your cards, Capricorn, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas. Now what that means is that change is afoot. These, you know, they say that the major arcanas are life-changing, and then the minor arcanas, which are the pip cards, they're kind of, you know, everyday kind of occurrences, you know. So the first card that comes up is the Temperance card, and when I first saw it, it's number 14, and 14, 1 and 4 reduces down to 5, which means change. Now, the first time I saw this card, I thought of, normally it's about balance and doing everything in moderation, but I thought about balancing your emotions, like your temper, right? Don't be quick to anger. Wow, it's really like raining outside. I'm sorry. I mean, it's pouring. It's like torrential rain here in New York City, and the wind's howling. It's very Samhain, you know. That's the ancient. That's actually the origins of Halloween. The Samhain. They have Beltane in the spring and Samhain in the fall. So it's about death and rebirth. I don't want to go into that, but basically that's what Scorpio is about, and we're in Scorpio, right? So Scorpio is about death and rebirth. It's interesting. It's about the truth coming up. So anyway, I digress. So we have this Temperance card, and when it came up, the first thing I thought is, Capricorn, is like really control your temper, your anger. It's like, and then I got the Strength card, not right next to it, but I did get the Strength card, came up in the same reading, and the Strength is, right, it's about coming at a situation, it's about saying that your strength is in your presence, and your strength is in your kindness and compassion, right? So we have this lion in this, depicted here with this lady, and the lion is really controlling his nature to enjoy this wonderful experience with this beautiful lady. And so, you know, it's in his nature to attack, right? But he's tempering his nature so that he can fully enjoy the present moment with this person. So Temperance comes up, and I feel that change is going to happen, and perhaps it'll bring up some emotions for you. And this is saying, listen, don't react, right? Respond. you know, take a deep breath and come back at this in a different way, diplomatically. So something's going to come up that's going to, you know, it's really going to bring up some anger for you, and you're not, this is saying control that. You know, your power is in your self-control. That's what I was looking for. Your power is in your self-control. And I always say when the Strength card comes up, Capricorn, I have a feeling this might have come up for you last week, I'm not sure. But I always say this reminds me of my mum, you know, because my mum didn't have to hit us. She would just look at us. She would go, and I would die with that look. That look, I would come together. And then I would know that I'd been doing something wrong, whatever it was, that I was totally oblivious of until I got the look. And I came together really fast. And that look has been handed down for many generations. My sisters have used it with her children. I've used it with mine. It's so funny. But oh, I dreaded that look. But that was all I needed, was that look. That's what I'm saying. It's like your presence. It's like when you have self-control, you don't need to lash out and hit and get angry and, you know, act out. You just need that presence and that look, you know. That's it. That's the look. Anyway, so we have that now. But, okay, so having said that, right next to Temperance, the World came up, right? Now, the World means that something in your life has kind of come to a completion. Something has come to a completion. Something, you know, life is cyclical, and maybe an era has come to an end, or something. You're getting ready to, you know, retire or move on. Something has come to full completion. You've learned you have all these life lessons. You've got all this life experience, and now you can actually choose to do it all over again. Or when this card comes up, it's saying that the universe will support you in a completely different arena, a change of direction. So now is a really good time for you to make that change, because all the energies will support you. The universe will support you. Source will support you. It is a good time to make this change. And this is really interesting, because this is a time to really look at your life purpose. And even if you are engaged in your life purpose and you're loving everything that you're doing, maybe you need to be a little more creative and do something, you know, push the envelope a little further. This is saying you can take it into another direction. Now, we have this incredible full super moon, right, on Saturday the 4th. And this is a manifesting moon, but there's this beautiful harmony going on too right now. It's opposing the sun in Scorpio. And when this, anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. And then we have Neptune in Pisces, which is trining the sun and sextiles the moon. So this is a beautiful, harmonious kind of energy. Very, very powerful. I always say that the full moon is a manifesting oven, but in particular, this is a beautiful energy. So it's very, very important to focus on what's working instead of what's not. Now, also in this same reading, right, around about this, so I have a feeling that there's change. You know, this could be inner change, but there is a new beginning happening here. We've got the Fool cards come up, and this is, you know, this is a new adventure that's going to, I have a feeling that you are thinking of moving in a different direction, and it's an exciting journey, and you really must look upon this as an exciting journey. This is a new beginning. The whole universe is supporting you. And you also, listen, you have the Four of Swords that have come up. So this is saying that you're really tired too. And this is reminding you that you need sleep. However, and I always say this can also mean meditation, And how apropos, because it came up right next to the Hermit. Now, sometimes when the Hermit comes up, this can say, you know, seek out a mentor or be a mentor to somebody. Some of you probably are mentors, and some of you probably have mentors. But this, to me, right, is going within. I think we've never had such an urgent call to action as we have recently in the last few months. And it's about meditating. Now listen, I'm always meditating because I meditate before I do the cards every time, but that is an intention meditation towards getting the truth for somebody, right? And I suddenly realized, look, I haven't had my own meditation practice. So I started meditating in the mornings, and it has been a journey, and it's been really, you know, it's been wonderful. I have to say, it's definitely given me balance. It's been able for me to, and emotions come up in those things. It's made me look, this energy that we have right now, the planetary, with the planetary alignments, we must embrace and love our dark side, our shadow sides, as well as our light side. And we cannot be in denial saying that we're good and we help people all the time, because, darling, we all have a dark side. You can look on Yelp for my dark side. I'm only joking. Not for my business. This is my light side. But in some of my jobs, I have had some harsh, you know, criticism at me because my dark side came out, because I didn't want to do it. It wasn't something that I wanted to do, and I wasn't happy, and my dark side came out and played big time. But so this is about loving and embracing our shadow sides as well as our light side. And we are all made up of light and dark. We all have that. And we have to accept ourselves as we are fully and just love ourselves. Love the bitchy side as well as the, you know, as well as that wonderful giving emotional side. You know, it's the yin yang, right? Without love, without hate, how can we have love? Without, and it's a very thin line, right? You know that song. It's a thin line between love and hate. I know I should stick with my day job. Don't give up my day job. But you know, without happiness, without sadness, how can we know happiness? Without depression, how can we know elation? There's that. You know, there's the opposites, and you know, in astrology we have the opposites, which kind of plays to the energies, you know, and everything you know, it's a balance, right? It's all about balance. So this is about going inside, guys. It's about really meditating. It's about quietening the mind. And what I realized, particularly today in my meditation, was I could not quiet my mind, and I was going off on other people's scenarios and stories, and I was all in everybody's head. And then I realized, as I was observing my thought patterns, that this is going on in the background all the time. How can we manifest anything on this third dimension if we've got all the monkey brain? What we call in meditation is the monkey brain. If I've got the monkey brain going on and I'm hardly aware of it, right? Of course, it's all contradictory. So it's important to have that time. You know, by the end of the meditation, finally, my mind gets quiet and I'm able to just be at peace. And then my alarm goes off and I have to go. It's crazy. It is crazy. Anyway, so go inside, quieten the mind, because then you can focus on your desires and what you want. And then we have the Six of Pentacles came up. Now this is about service, you see. This is about being in service. This is all, listen, everything astrologically. We're going into the age of Aquarius. It's about it's about putting the group before ourselves. It's not about, you know, it's about being in gratitude. But, you know, it's about being in gratitude for the little things. It's about, you know, our purpose is, if we're doing something, we want it to benefit the, you know, the community. We want it to benefit other people. We want it to benefit the world, you know. It's so, so important. So this is about service. This is about either giving money to, if you have money, giving it to the less fortunate. It's about doing it anonymously too. But it's about, if you don't have money, it's about helping someone physically, you know. It's about, you don't have a gift, make a gift. I say to my kid, you know, he used to say, oh, can I afford a card? Well, make me a card. It would mean so much more to me, actually, if you sat down and gave me that time. Time is so valuable. I really appreciate time. I really appreciate others' time. You know, and we have to be able to receive also to give. If you're a giving person, like I can be giving, I need to be able to receive. You know, sometimes I can feel guilty about receiving and I've got to pay and I've got to figure out how to pay. But no, it's also thank you. Thank you. And I do have such wonderful, incredibly generous people in my life, friends and relatives. I mean, just people have just, you know, really supported me physically, emotionally, financially. I mean, I am very, very lucky and grateful person for all the people that I have in my life. And it took me a long time to learn to receive. I remember the first time that I really felt special, I burst into tears. I'll never forget this. It was, I was about 13 and my mum had like a little tea party after work, and it was kind of like a nothing little tea party, you know. She had a little cake and we just got home from school, and we were listening. The radio was always on in the background in our house, in the kitchen. There was always a radio on, you know. And the radio came on, and it was this dedication to me, and I just was, even thinking about it now makes me a little emotional. But I remember, you know, my mum, you know, 6 kids. And to me, that was like, oh my God, I felt so special. And she did you know, she did this dedication from, you know, happy birthday, Mary. And I was just, and I ran out the room crying, overwhelmed. My mum was kind of shocked, you know. And I think it was the first time she realized how deeply emotional I was and how sensitive I was. And it was just such a lovely, see, I always remember that gift. I was 12 or 13, I don't remember my age, but it made me feel so special. And if I thought my mom would be watching this, I'd say thank you but she's not watching YouTube, trust me. Anyway, thank you so much, Capricorn, for tuning in. I really hope you have a wonderful manifesting week. Don't forget, meditate, really meditate, get enough rest, and don't react, respond, and remember that you are supported. Be a champion for change. Allow this change to come, because these changes that are happening during this time are for the better and for your good. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. I love you all, and I'll see you next week. For a personal reading, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.